Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And Verizon's earnings call just ended. Lots to unpack. So I wanted to break that down for you guys. If you want to know the numbers, the quarterly numbers, I will leave that video in the description down below. I made that this morning very quickly. Good numbers on the quarter, though, overall. Looking good. I did not expect them to grow as much as they did, but they pulled it off anyway, despite the fact that AT&T and T-Mobile posted the numbers that they did. So in terms of 2022 guidance, which is what a lot of you and a lot of people that I speak with, we're looking forward to see what Verizon would do. So Verizon overall did cut capex by about $1 billion. And a lot of that was contributed by them hitting their goals early last year. They exceeded their millimeter wave deployment, and they exceeded C-band deployments by about 2 months, roughly, on targets. So they weren't expected to hit 100 million until March of this year. They hit 95 million as of the earnings call. So they have 5 million more before the month is out, and then they will hit their 100 million, which is what they're targeting. And they said at launch that by the end of this month, they would hit 100 million covered with C-band. By the way, coverage map, the new coverage map is out. I will leave that in the description down below. They are still making tweaks to it. There's still changes coming to it. It's not 100% accurate. So keep that in mind as you check that map. So guidance for 22, very explosive, very aggressive from Verizon. Just to put that in context, the last year, so Verizon is spending $10 billion over 3 years. And they stated at the analyst day last year that that as fast as humanly possible, that can be spent. Of course, they can't spend $10 billion all in 1 year. It's just not enough equipment and tower climbers out there. But I have been told 100% the supply chain is coming in. Samsung is filling that in. Ericsson was already there. They're already good. They're getting that Samsung equipment in quickly, very, very, very quickly. So they got to 100 million, pretty much around that 100 million, with spending 2 billion. So they, out of the 10 billion allocated for C-band, they spent 2 billion of that last year, and it got them, or it's getting them to that roughly 100 million covered with C-band. Now this year, they're going to allocate 60% of that 10 billion total this year. They're spending between 5 to 6 billion on C-band this year. Let me say that again. They're spending almost 60% of the total allocated this year. So if you, just to put that in context, if you felt like or thought that the deployment of C-band was aggressive and a fast-paced last year, wait till you see what's happening this year. Like I said, 5 to 6 billion out of the 10 billion is being spent this year. Just to make that a point, because that's going to be big. They're going to deploy this at a pace 5 to 10 times faster than they did last year. So again, that means phase 2 of C-band is starting. I kind of gave you guys hints on some of my tweets on that. I can't go into specifics, but they are working on some early clearance. They want to get some of those markets cleared early. Phase 2, spending 5 to 6 billion. That's a clear indication they're going to start deploying early deployments outside of the top 46 PEAs, 100%. They'll hit their targets very easily. I think they actually go beyond 175 million this year covered. I think they go to the 190 million mark, which is the total that they are going to be able to do in terms of what's cleared within the top 46, meaning they'll also hit some of those rural territories that are cleared within the top 46. So this is big. They're gonna try to make that very, very competitive for T-Mobile. So internally, this is what I'm being told. I'll just let you guys know. They want to meet T-Mobile right around that 23 timeframe. End of 23, whatever T-Mobile gets to, Verizon wants to meet them with C-band deployment. So they, of course, can't turn it on unless they do get cleared early for some of those markets. But when they flip that switch in December 23, they want to cover the same amount of people with mid-band as T-Mobile. That's as aggressively and quickly they're deploying. They want to meet and exceed their own internal targets. So guidance is huge for this year. Lots of ongoing work. There will be lots and lots of work for them to do this year. I mean, 5 to 6 billion. They'll have to spend, of course, they'll have to spend outside of that 10 billion. They made that very clear. There was a great question asked on the earnings call. They said, is this 10 billion going to be enough to touch all sites? They said no. The 10 billion is to accelerate the deployment, to make it faster. But to touch the coverage and get more and deeper into rural with C-band, they'll have to allocate some of their regular capex to C-band as well and deploy it that way. So that's coming too likely in 2023. I'm anticipating they take some of their regular allocated capex and pour that into C-band as well for coverage expansion and getting C-band scaled in rural United States. So 74% now of the total base is on unlimited. Also, they had step-ups increases on premium. So the strategy is working for Verizon. Whatever they guided at the analyst day, it's working. 10% of total usage now happening on millimeter wave. So that's also scaling and working. So more people are going to the stadiums. More people are going to the busy areas, the dense urban areas where millimeter wave is being scaled. And they're making use of the network. So let me know what you think about this in the comment section down below. Again, the numbers, it threw me off. They did great, although they did have a little spike in churn at 1.01 total. But again, it's a competitive environment. Everybody's fighting for customers, so everyone's churn is up a bit across the board. So make sure you guys leave all your comments in the comment section down below. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the channel. Follow my social media outlets for more updates and interactions. Thanks again for watching. This is Tyrone with Tech Life. I will see you in the next one. Peace.